OK, time now to meet tonight's guests who have been getting on famously backstage. Let's welcome Rinder, Rylan and Liz Carr. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
It's like the new Sugar Babe. Round, round, Liz Carr, round, round.
So, Liz, it was the BAFTAs at the weekend.
Yes.
Red carpet full of superstars. Jeff Goldblum, Hannah Waddingham was there. But apparently, all you cared about was meeting this man right here, Rylan, right next to
I
you.
had a moment.
I only had eyes for you.
Oh,
There we go. He didn't disappoint either, did he?
Oh, I've not seen
There you
him.
are.
Look, there you are.
Oh, Liz. So literally, as I walked up the stairs straight in out of the car, the first person I see is Liz Carr, and I was like, tonight, that's not going to be top now. That's it.
We locked eyes. You just went, that's TV's Liz
Yeah.
Carr. And came bounding over, and it was like,
Couldn't believe it.
it's a dream come true.
And you've got the autograph book out.
Oh, yeah. But you were obviously fresh off the plane.
Fresh is not the word I would have used.
Well, Rob, were you having to sort of hold him up after, 2 weeks in Malmo after Eurovision?
He's got limitless energy.
He has.
This one. I mean,
He has.
it's impossible to sort of keep down. He's full of joy. It can be exhausting after a while.
Now then, congratulations both.
Thank
First
you.
episode of your new programme went out on Sunday night. Absolutely brilliant. Rob and Rylan's Grand Tour, fantastic. And it's had some brilliant reviews. You must be thrilled, the pair of you.
We are. We knew we'd made something special, and we had the whole thing when it was announced we were doing the show. Oh, another celebrity travelogue in Italy, and we were like, yeah, we get it. The reaction has just been so overwhelming. I've not felt like that neither of us have for such a long time, have we? So yeah.
Gratifying when people get it. Yeah.
You mentioned kind of both of you about the celebrity travel vlogs that we kind of see a lot of, that are great, by the way, but was it important to you both to kind of maybe do it in a different way?
That wasn't the intention at
Never.
all. I mean, it's really rooted in history and, a really kind of important message. So it's based in the Grand Tour, so 200 years since the death of Byron, a poet. Some people may have heard of, probably problematic in all sorts of ways nowadays. But what happened was that posh bit of society would go and leave the country and go to these Italian city-states, like separate countries, in order to go and learn about the great art, sometimes steal it and bring it back to this country, but above all else, more importantly, to complete themselves. Because you think about how strict society was.
Yeah.
It still is for some people nowadays.
A bit like a gap year, really,
Exactly
is what you
that, but
explain
only
it.
for the
Posh boy gap.
There you go.
And it was a way that they could be free and to grab back the pen for a life that'd been written on their behalf and think, how can I write my own novel and learn about the world and come back? And nowadays, it's exploring that idea that anybody, whoever you are, has that limitless capacity, the gift to go and enjoy culture. There are no lanes.
No.
And sometimes, I think we sometimes, especially in this country, as Bernard Shaw said, it's branded on the tongue, that soft bigotry of low expectation, people who sound a certain way, or we think that's not for me, there's no such thing. And that's what we're trying to explore. And the happiest moments throughout this extraordinary journey was watching Rylan regularly be the cleverest and most beautiful person in the room.
Well, he always is, you see, isn't he? Now then.
Ruining the image
Don't
here.
ruin it. This is a lovely moment. You two in Rome, appreciating the work of Caravaggio.
Oh,
Nice.
I've never seen
What a line. But Rob, what you were saying about, sounding a certain way and all the rest of it, people make assumptions, don't they? I've had it my entire life. You've had it, I know we've talked about it, you've had it. Had this, though, changed your perception, Rylan, of what culture means, of what you enjoy a little bit?
yeah, 100%. I mean, the whole Grand Tour for me, the shtick was, if you want to look so too, you see some of that as well. But yeah, it was, I say in the series, I'm not intimidated by art, but I'm intimidated to talk about art. And coming away from this experience, I could now sit around a table and start talking about a Caravaggio or Tintoretto's Il Paradiso and stuff like that, and know what I'm talking about, and know that, blue paint costs the most money because it's Lapisan?
Does it?
Lapisan,
Yeah.
like it's made Lapisan. It's the mineral that it's made from. Like, so all of this stuff, I now know, and that's all that life is. And we did a launch at the National Portrait Gallery, and we walked through. And I instantly just saw a painting I'd never seen before. I went, that's Caravaggio, isn't it? And he was like, a proud dad. He was like, it is.
But it's one thing
just
to
a
look at
man.
the art and to know it in your head, but what Rylan gifted me, and by the way, people that might misjudge you because of the way you sound or seem or look, your great superpower is to go into the world and be misjudged, because those are the people that lose out, right? And that's part of what you've gifted me, but also being present. So you might know it up here and have read every book, and some of the dimmest people I've ever met have jumped through all the hoops in life, the academic ones, but when you're present,
in the
this
moment.
is what he did for me, enjoy, actually feeling what it meant, as all of the Grand Tourists did. That's what matters about art. It's what touches you, whether it's great poetry, whether it's actually female grime art that interests you, whatever has the capacity to enable you to feel and connect with fellow humankind. That's what great culture is, and you can't do that just by thinking about it. You need to be alongside someone like this fool who brings you the capacity to find the joy.
But Liz, you have to watch this, right? Because what's lovely about
You're
this...
coming next time.
She's the sugar babes are on tour.
We're going on
tour.
Which sugar babe? What's the names of the sugar babe?
No, we're the new lineup, basically. They've changed a lot of times.
That's because you've forgotten the names.
You've lost
Oh no, I can go through all of it. I'm a gay man. I know all the sugar babes' names, Liz. Do you want it? I can name them. I'll reel them off.
But you know what was lovely, right? Your friendship shines through in this. And I know you didn't know each other very well before you started, but it is lovely to watch. And you've both, you know, you've spoken openly about hard times you've been through relationship-wise. Did you find it really cathartic to be there together and form this new friendship?
We shared the same divorce lawyer. Like, we didn't know. Honestly, you could not have written this. Someone at the BBC sitting at home now like, yeah, what? Like, all of these things just fell into place. And yeah, me and Rob both went through a very similar experience with our divorces and things like that. And we say in the show, this trip couldn't have come at a better time. Yeah. It was like a brand new restart. And I came home from this, one, exhausted from Nonna over here, that I had to keep dragging through Italy because she's so slow. But I came back genuinely like a new man. I was like, oh, there is still a life out there. Yeah. And I know that sounds really cheesy and, oh, we're trying to flog a show. Genuinely not. Like, it speaks for itself. And you see it, and there's this narrative, this arc that goes through all 3 episodes that we never knew when we were there, and it was only when we came back we went, oh, that actually happened.
Yeah, that beautiful platonic friendship, which isn't, I think, I wonder whether you think this as well, it's not the people that be there in the middle of the night in an emergency. You know, the emergency services will do that for you, and often people want to inculcate themselves in your terrible drama, you know, and have a speaking part. It's when you find someone who loves you truly in life that you can telephone when something great happens and they'll cheer with you in success. That's the platonic joy of love. That's amazing.
Rob and Rylan's Grand Tour continues Sunday, 9 o'clock on BBC Two and iPlayer. Thank you.
OK, still to come, we'll be talking to Liz about her powerful new documentary, which will be on BBC One later tonight.
Yes, there are 2 links between Liz here and Linda LaPlante. Yes. Number 1, Liz has a plant called...
Linda the plant.
Perfect. OK.
Doesn't everyone?
Exactly.
It's obvious.
And number 2, Linda LaPlante, we saw there, spends a lot of time in a morgue.
Yes.
Because of writing her books for research, but of course yourself with Silent Witness.
Yes.
In a morgue.
Silent Witness, though, a massive series. How did it change your life, Liz?
I mean, 8 years, 8 series. And when I joined, they were a bit suspicious. Like, nobody really expected the character to ever become as big as she did. Not at all. So that was very satisfying, that by the time that I left, nobody wanted me to leave, and certainly didn't want Clarissa.
No.
And that we'd achieved that we'd managed to find storylines and the humour and keep it going is kind of... People stop me every single day, I would say, and it's almost always Clarissa.
I think people still miss Clarissa.
I think they might do. I think they secretly want me back.
They do.
Well, I mean, as well as all that, you've gone on to win Olivier Awards, starred in The Witcher, Good Omens. Do you have to kind of like pinch yourself?
Yeah, you're saying that and I'm going, who's that? I'm looking round because it's, you know, and I'm not playing, oh, humble. It's just like, because I didn't start acting until I was in my 30s. Yeah. You know, I'm 52 now. It's like, it's amazing. But weirdly, it just kind of gets better. And I think partly that's because times are changing, improving, representation is getting better and stuff. So they're taking more risks, but still, you know, I won the Olivier 2 years ago. Thanks for saying a few. I've only got one. For now. But yeah, I've had one theatre audition since then, and that's 2 years. So you know what I mean. It doesn't.
Not after this tonight.
Yeah.
Liz. This is like Liz. That's who we need.
Why do you think I've come on?
No, you're right. You're right. No.
Now we have to talk about the doc that you've got on BBC One tonight.
Yeah.
Some viewers will find the topic distressing.
Yeah.
But it is a hot topic of conversation. It's been in the press even today.
Yeah.
It's all around assisted dying and whether the laws should be changed to allow people with terminal illnesses to end their lives.
Yeah.
Now, why, Liz, did you want to make this documentary?
So, I am an assisted suicide nerd, which is a very strange thing to say, okay? But it's been a topic that I've been campaigning on for years, really years. First time that I was on the BBC wasn't as an actor, I was on Newsnight talking about my opposition. And it was because it's such an important topic. Death and dying is so important to all of us, and it should be. But as a disabled person, I think it's a voice that's not been heard in this discussion, not enough, because I do think that it implicates and it has an implication to and for disabled people. So I'm not speaking, I just want to say this every time, I'm not speaking on behalf of disabled people, but I'm trying to redress the balance and put a different perspective that me and a number of others have. And the doc is... There's some humour. You can't know me.
There is.
And no, it is, isn't it?
There is humour in it.
Yeah, and I think we manage it tastefully. It's like there are moments that are really challenging and like shocking, I think. A lot of sadness in there, but there's a lot of humour, and I always say this, but it's true. The soundtrack, I think, is amazing, if I do say so myself.
Now, in the documentary, Liz meets different people from both sides of the argument, for and against, but she's focusing on it from a disability point of view. So here's Liz with a group of her friends talking about challenging perceptions.
I get strangers coming to me and saying, I feel so sorry, why are you in the chair? Why are you sorry? I don't know what you're going on about wheelchairs. That's the one thing that makes me independent.
I think what strikes me is that a lot of people in favour of assisted suicide, one of their arguments is this sense of a loss of autonomy. And they list all of the things that, you can no longer do. But what they don't realise is that losing your independence and losing your ability to physically do things you could previously do doesn't have to mean a loss of autonomy.
Now, the doc, Liz, features your lovely mum. And you thought it was very important to have her along on that journey with you, didn't you?
Yeah, because... really, I think what the documentary is for me, it's an authored doc and it shows why I oppose. It shows my journey. If there's going to be a journey, and there's not, I say that. I'm not going anywhere. I don't change my mind. I talk to people from both sides, but I know it's more about showing why I feel it's risky to bring in a change in the law. So meeting Mum, she's a big part of that journey. I love my mum. My mum's called Pat. We love our mums.
She's gorgeous.
Love our mums.
Yeah.
She's doing really well for 81. She's going to go mad that I
She's
gave her it.
81?
I know.
Amazing.
That's the only reason I'm saying it, because I think she looks
She could be in the Sugar
incredible.
Babes with you.
Well, our friend mums
Love
could make their own
that.
sugar
She'll be
babes.
watching this now screaming. She does think she's the star, and in many ways she is. But, I'm very close to my mum, and she has diaries that covered a time that was really difficult for me when I was newly disabled and really didn't like being me very much. I'm so different. I'm such a different person than I was, during a teenager. I know a lot of us are, but it's kind of looking at that and looking how that impacted on my viewpoint, really.
Absolutely. Well, Liz's documentary is fascinating. It's on tonight, 9 o'clock, BBC One and iPlayer. And if you've been affected by any of the issues we've been talking about, there is information and support available on the BBC Action Line website.
And don't forget, you can still see Liz in previous series of Silent Witness and on iPlayer too.
Clarissa lives on.
We got some questions here. We got one from Chloe for you, Rob and Rylan. She's said that she would love it so much if you can...
there we go.
And that you can't just leave it there. The bond between you two is so special. Can you explore more countries, please?
I noticed you come to me for that. We've had discussions about where we'd go next and what would be the reason. Because we don't just... Again, it's not just a travel log. So, we've found a country or a continent. Yeah, we've found something.
Oh, you're like the new Judith Chalmers.
So, I know, honestly,
There we go.
Call us Judith. We've been called worse, I tell you.
I love it.
Lisa says Clarissa from Silent Witness was the best, you see.
Amen.
Lisa's on that team.
I can never say that, but I mean, I kind of agree.
Another one for Rob and Rylan. Rob and Rylan's visit to Venice was so inspirational, it renewed my faith in humanity.
And Margaret also concurs with Lisa. She says, I love Liz. She is a fabulous actor. Yep. So there were people watching this going, right, we need to get Liz in our next...
Get Liz.
Yeah.
It's so nice to listen to somebody, you know, be able to talk about something so contentious in such an open-minded and caring and kind way, and we need that more than ever nowadays. So thank you for that, Liz.
We'll take you abroad, Liz.
Yeah.
Anytime you want.
Thank you. I think, you know, I have some really good conversations with people that think completely different things from me, and that feels like so important that we can do that and we can still do that. So
thank you,
Liz.
Thank you very much.
You.
Yeah.
Thanks to our guests this evening, Rob, Rylan and Liz, the Sugar Babes.
I'll be here tomorrow with Vic Hope, and we'll be joining, Jamie Rant will be joining us, Jill Scott from A League of Their Own.
Plus the new presenter of the Great British Sewing Bee, Kyle Smith-Bino, and Matt All right here for Watchdog 2. Have a lovely evening.
Good night.
Bye.